Hi guys, welcome to the Lockdown Shed with me, Cookie. Just a word of caution on this one. This build is based on, as you can see, a hollow plastic form of a female mannequin. Can't get my words out. So this is what you see hung up in any shop window that sells clothes, with a t-shirt hanging over it, or a bikini, or the likes, or underwear. So there isn't actually any nudity in this, it's just a plastic form that I'm going to mess about with. We're going to paint it. As you can see there, I was pointing out where it would hang up in the window. So all I've basically done at this point is sprayed it with plastic primer. Obviously prepared the plastic first so the plastic primer would stick. And we'll just let our imagination run wild on this one. So like I say, just a word of caution, it is based on a female physique, just in case anybody's a bit particular out there. So yeah, so we just cut a few holes in it and went at it with a jigsaw. And as you can see here, safety first, got my gloves on to protect my precious fingers, because as you know I'm a tattoo artist, don't want to burn my fingers, because this is what I'm doing to keep me occupied whilst in lockdown in these unprecedented times. Speaking of that, I hope you're all good, safe and well out there, and you're doing okay. I'm doing this to keep myself occupied, keep my brain busy, keep my hands busy, and to entertain you lot as well. So yeah, just bending the bits that we cut out to form a shape. This is like a pyrography tool or a soldering iron, just etching some bits into the body, like some cut lines, maybe some holes for some stitching a bit later on. That might give you a clue on how it's going to look. But stay tuned for the final bit, because it's cool. So yeah, so we found a hand, like a jewellery hand, if you will, from a shop that's been lining my shed. I think I've got 2 or 3 of these. We used to use them in the shop to put business cards in. Basically just drill a hole in the back of it, stuck a nut in it, drilled through the backboard, put a bolt on it so we could screw it through. So this has got a backboard in it now, piece scrap MDF. So what we've done is we've filled the inside with some of the insulation foam that you've seen me use before on previous builds, and now we're just painting it up. So rattle canned the body in like a fleshy tone, I think it's like an ivory or something like that. And now as you can see, all I'm doing is just airbrushing some darker tones in, just to give it a bit of shape, and to put the essence of like tears and beauty spots or freckles, obviously nipples, because you know, that's what everybody's got, male or female. So trying to make it look as real as possible, and a little bit creepy too. So we're using Vallejo airbrush paints to do this. They dry quite quickly. Oh, excuse my big fat head in the way of the video there. My sunbird ears. So yeah, we're just running through it with different tones of brown and reddy browns and slightly flashy tones and a bit of pink here and there. And we're just going to make it look as real as possible, as sort of scarred up as possible, and a little bit sore as well. I think it was about 22 degrees in the garden when I did this, so the paints were drying quite rapidly. No need for a heat gun, I don't think, on this one. So yeah, as you can see now, we've pretty much done all the airbrushing. We're just going in with a paintbrush. I think there's just a little bit of red paint. And we're just touching a few bits up inside, just to give some of the inside parts a bit of highlight. What I didn't show on this video was I found some flexible piping that you'd use for like your waste outlet on your sink. 2 different sort of types, a little thin one and a big fatter one. So we use them on the inside of the bowels area, I suppose, to make it look maybe like intestines or something like that, just to give it a little bit more dimension. So here I'm probably just dry brushing a bit of red paint on, just to bring the tones out slightly. Because we painted all the inside, we used a base coat of red oxide primer, which looks amazingly like a raw meat colour. So we just need to tone it up, put some shadows in, a few highlights, and make it look as gory and as gruesome as possible. All in the aid of fun, all in the name of enjoyment. And entertainment, of course. Got to keep yourself entertained in these unprecedented times that we're in at the minute, with this lockdown going on. I hope you're all safe out there. So yeah, so just touching a few details in here in the belly area. We also mix a little bit of PVA glue with a touch of red ink as well. So when the PVA glue dries with the red ink in, it's going to give it a sheen. It's also going to make it gloop up slightly, so it's not going to be flat. So you can get a slight 3D effect if you let the PVA dry for a certain amount of time and then just gloop it on. Again, more gore. And just keep working at it until you're happy with the results, or until you think it's done. You can only be the judge of that yourself. Hopefully this will inspire some of you out there to have a go, build something for yourself, something that you can hang on the wall. Maybe not as gory as this is just where my imagination took me with this build, but again, just a bit of fun, no harm intended, just something different. So you can see me painstakingly cutting bits of string that I've dirtied up with some ink and pushing them into the holes that I pre-drilled for the stitches. I think this took longer than painting the entire thing. Now you see the inside there with like the pipe work, and this is just what I use, just some basic string, my little compressor, my airbrushes, and my paints and my ink. There you go, there's the string. And there's the inside of the guts with the pipe, as I mentioned earlier on. And this is a sign that I'm going to hang round her neck. Basically a bit of old wood that I hit with a hammer, aged with a little bit of paint, and wrote on "Please take a card," because I think I'm going to use this as I go around tattoo conventions, put it on my desk and put some cards in the hand like I mentioned earlier on. Yep, this is hanging basket chain that we had lying around in the shed, and some old shed felting nails, just to make it look a bit more creepy and give it a bit more of an edge. Thankfully my son filmed this bit, so I didn't have to worry about knocking my camera off my workbench. And then the cool slow motion hammer hit. Yeah! It's quite satisfying. Didn't realise how long this pot was. And I didn't hit my finger once. Yay me! So here you go, coming from the inside out. And like I say, there's the PVA glue with the red ink on, so it looks a bit more bloody, gloopy. And as we move backwards, you'll see more of the build come into view. And there you go, we put some stitching through the chest. There's the sign hanging around her neck, and the business cards are going to be in her hand. Hopefully this hasn't offended anybody or creeped anybody out too much. Like I say, it's all just a bit of fun whilst in lockdown. I've got to occupy my brain. We had the raw materials in my shed. Haven't had to buy anything for this one. Oh look, she's even got tattoos. Albeit not very good ones. But she's got a few little tattoos here and there. There wasn't enough space left on the mannequin to do loads of tattoos on it after I'd put all the tones and the gore and the guts and everything, so we kept it simple. So there you go, that will be my new business card holder whilst at tattoo conventions. So hopefully when we get back to some sort of normality, I hope to see you guys around some of them. You can come and check out the build in person, tell me you've watched it on YouTube, take a card, maybe come and get a tattoo off me in the future. I had really good fun doing this, let my imagination run wild. Hope you've enjoyed watching it, hope it hasn't put anybody off the dinner. And like I say, all for fun, no harm intended. There you go, all done. Took about 2 days, give or take, whilst waiting for paint to dry and glue to dry and PVA glue to dry. So yeah, hope you're all doing okay out there and hope to see you for the next build. Thanks for watching, bye bye.